GLP-1s. These medications are everywhere right now. You might have heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound, maybe even retatrutide, and I'll break down everything you need to know about them in a future video. But here's what most people don't realize. Your body already makes GLP-1. This is actually going to be the first of a 3-part series. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to boost your natural GLP and, even more importantly, how to optimize the biology of your entire fullness system. In part 2, we'll plug the science from today into a simple, psychology-backed formula for making your meals healthy, easy, and yummy. And in part 3, I'll walk you through exactly step-by-step how to build a plate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're gonna learn a better way of eating, one that intentionally uses biology and psychology. Because eating for weight loss isn't just eating less. If we're gonna do this, we want our results to last. And I'm gonna show you how to get there in a way that keeps you full, happy, and nourished. Let's get into it. So before we talk about foods that naturally increase GLP, I'd love to share with you how our body works. Because your body's fullness system is about so much more than just one hormone called GLP-1. Once you get the biology and understand it conceptually, it is way easier to troubleshoot and figure out what your body needs, instead of just looking at another list of foods that you should eat without understanding why. So as a quick rundown, as we eat and food moves through, our gut releases GLP-1, as well as a whole team of other hormones, including PYY, CCK, and more. These fullness hormones tell your brain that you are getting full. GLP also slows down how quickly food leaves the stomach, which helps because the longer food stays, the longer you feel full. The reason this matters is because we can actually work with our biology to make our food choices strategically. Going back to the weight triangle, which I'll link down below, you can think of your body like a car. Food is the fuel, and your stomach is the gas tank. Most people think that fullness is just about how much food physically fills your stomach. But what the food is made of also matters, because some types of fuel actually have way more staying power than others. So to really optimize fullness, we have to think about both how much gas physically fills your tank and what you're filling it with. Let's start with the quality of the fuel. Food with more staying power is going to increase GLP and our other fullness hormones. There are 3 main hunger busters: protein, fiber, and fat. For the calories, protein gives you pretty good bang for your buck. It keeps you full for hours, and it has so many other benefits. During weight loss, we're not actually trying to lose as much weight as possible. What most of us really want is to lose fat while keeping our muscle. Protein tells your body to hold on to muscle, especially when it's paired with resistance or strength training. It also isn't just for muscle mass. Your body uses protein almost everywhere. For your gut lining, brain chemistry, immune system, hair, skin, and nails, and more. If you can, aim for around 30 grams per meal. You don't have to be perfect at every single meal, but do try to prioritize protein. Great sources that can help boost GLP include things like eggs, plain Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, fish, chicken, tofu, edamame, lentils, and a high-quality protein powder. When you eat, ask yourself, is there protein in this, or could I add some? Per day, I usually recommend around 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, just depending on the person and their goals. And I'll be real with you, that's actually not that easy to hit. So treat it as a target to aim for, rather than a test that you have to ace. Next up is fat, which can add even more staying power. Fat is not only essential for our hormones, brain health, and absorbing certain vitamins, but it's also what makes food rich, creamy, and satisfying. Fantastic sources of healthy fats include things like nuts, seeds, avocados, olives and olive oil, and fatty fish like salmon. That said, fat is calorie dense. It contains more than double the amount of calories as protein or carbs. So during a fat loss phase, you do have to be a bit more mindful about how much you add. You don't have to track it, although that can be helpful, but at the very least, be intentional. A spray rather than a glug of olive oil, a spoonful of nut butter, a little bit of cheese. Do not cut it out, but it's also not all you can eat. The final hunger buster is fiber. something that most of us actually don't get enough of. I wish more people knew how cool fiber is. Not only does it keep you full, but different types actually do different things. Fermentable fibers can help boost our natural GLP by feeding our gut microbiome, the friendly little helpers that live in our gut. Viscous fiber actually absorbs water from the gut and forms a gel that helps to slow down digestion to keep you full for longer. And finally, because bulking fiber adds physical bulk, when you pair it with enough water, it helps to fill our gas tank and keeps us regular. Just a warning though, do not fiber max overnight. We do want around 30 grams a day, but if you're starting from scratch and you have too much too quickly, it can lead to bloating and tummy pain. So build it up gradually. And again, its bestie is water. Speaking of H2O, let's switch gears to how we physically fill up our gas tank. Your stomach is kind of like a stretchy banana-shaped bag. As it fills with food and its walls start to stretch, it sends fullness signals up to your brain to tell you that you're getting full. To strategically fill our tank, 3 things matter: how much space the food takes up, what form it's in, and how much time you take to eat. When it comes to space, this is where high volume, low calorie foods really come into play. Veggies, fruits, soups, and other high water, high volume foods mean you can literally eat more food for less calories. The payoff is also not just physical, it's psychological. If you're like me and more of a hungry girl volume eater, a bigger plate just looks better. You get more bites and your meal lasts longer. So the whole vibe is just more generous and abundant. This can be really helpful so that you don't feel as restricted, especially during a fat loss phase. For example, take a look at these 2 plates of food that are both around 500 calories. Which one looks like a better value to you? The second thing we can look at when filling our tank is the physical structure of food. I'm so sorry to my friends out there who love fraps and bubble tea, but high calorie, high sugar liquids are just a bad deal. Take an apple in 3 different forms. The whole apple in its OG structure requires more chewing and takes longer to eat. When you puree it into an applesauce, it's partially broken down, so it goes down your system faster. And finally, when you juice it, most of its fiber and physical structure is removed, making it much closer to sugar water. And this doesn't mean that everything you eat has to be completely unprocessed. There are lots of foods that are great for you that have been changed or prepped in some way. For example, frozen veggies, frozen fruit, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, and tofu. A more helpful question is whether the food still has nutritional value and or if it can help keep you full. If you can guzzle it and still be hungry right after, it might be worth thinking about whether it should be a sometimes food rather than a daily staple. And finally, related to the form of your food is the form of your eating. How quickly you eat affects how full you feel. Try out this little experiment. Without thinking about it too much, time yourself while you're eating your normal lunch or dinner. That can be at the table, or for many of us, it's while we're working or watching TV. The first time I did this, I finished my meal in sub 7 minutes. It was not cute. When we eat very quickly, especially when we're distracted, we can eat a large amount of food before our brain has even tuned in. It takes time for our fullness signals to build. So if you slow down, you give yourself more of a chance to notice them. And you don't have to count every chew until you get bored or eat in complete silence. Just try to give your body a little bit more time, even if you just try it for the first 3 bites. And if your awareness happens to kick in halfway through your meal because you remember this video, it's a chance to slow it down again. So going back to our gas tank, here is a simple 3x3 fullness framework to boost your natural GLP and optimize your fullness signals. Number 1, choose fuel with staying power. Prioritize protein, include fiber, and add healthy fats intentionally. Number 2, fill your tank strategically. Think about water, volume, and form. We want to feel like we're eating enough. And finally, be present. Pause, slow down, and notice. Give your body time to register what's happening. This tip isn't just about physical fullness. Being here and now gives you more of a chance to actually enjoy your food, the flavors, textures, and the pleasure of eating. Because physical fullness is only one part of eating well. We also want to feel satisfied and nourished and make it doable in real life. Thanks for being here with me and investing your time. If you don't know about the weight triangle yet, watch that video first. It gives you the bigger picture framework for everything that influences sustainable weight management. And it should show up somewhere here.